How do you prepare a cover letter? This is one of the fundamental questions that you must answer in the recruitment process. So before you think about applying for the job, putting together your CV and all of those things, the cover letter may be the first thing that you have to look out for. Now, you have to understand that not all job applications may require a cover letter, but largely you are going to be required to submit a cover letter. So if you are supposed to submit a cover letter, how do you prepare it? How should it be? What are the things you're supposed to include in that cover letter, which is going to be a brief introduction of you to the employer? So before we get excited, let's define what a cover letter is. So a cover letter is simply a document sent alongside your CV when applying for a job. It is an act of a personal introduction and helps to sell your application. It is necessary because it gives you the chance to explain to an employer why you are the best candidate for the job. Now, if you're writing a cover letter, what should you look out for? How should it be structured? Before we come to how your cover letter is supposed to be structured, let me give you some tips on writing a great cover letter. Number one, do your research. It is important, as always, that you know about the company you are applying the job in, because knowing about the company helps you to structure your cover letter in such a manner not to just meet the job description, but also meet the culture and the things that the company is doing in generally. So you must do your research about the company, know the company. Now, when I did a previous video and I spoke about knowing your company, and some people were in the comment section typing a couple of things that I didn't understand. Listen, knowing the company means knowing the company. If they don't have any presence on social media, then probably you have to go there or speak to somebody there, because you have to know about the company. Listen, it is not just about, yes, you've heard about a job, so you go and apply. No, sometimes the value of the company doesn't align with your values. The things that a company doesn't meet your criteria. You actually hate that company because of their policies, their attitudes, their way of life, and their culture. So if you don't do your research to know about the company and how everything they are doing aligns with your personal value, then you will not be a successful candidate for that particular company. Because remember, it's not just about you applying for a job looking for money. It has to do with alignment of objective, of culture, of goals with the company. Tip number 2, convey enthusiasm. It is important that in your cover letter, you convey some level of enthusiasm. Why? Because enthusiasm conveys your personality. You have to share something about the company, why you are excited about applying for this company and ultimately working for this company. For instance, you can say that I would love to work for your company. Who wouldn't? You are the industry leader, setting standards that others only follow. 3, watch your tone and do not sound desperate. Now, in as much as you want to be enthusiastic, you want to convey that personality in the cover letter by introducing yourself like that, you have to also make sure that you don't sound desperate, because you have to be careful. Now, it is difficult to know whether you are sounding desperate or not sounding desperate by yourself in the cover letter. So the recommendation then is that after writing your cover letter, you could let someone else review the cover letter for you before you send it. So that if there is any tone, any language that makes you look like you are desperate for this job, like without this job you would die, you take it out. Then number 4, be succinct, meaning be precise, go straight to the point, and don't waste words. This is not where you are going to be talking about a lot of things, expressing pleasantries and other things. No, sweet, simple, straight to the point. These are the 4 tips that you need to understand when you are writing a great cover letter. Do your research, convey enthusiasm, watch your tone, and do not sound desperate. And 4, be succinct, meaning be precise, go straight forward, do not waste words. So the question then is, how do you structure the cover letter so that it will be able to catch the attention of the HR executive so you'll be called for an interview? Now, generally, the cover letter is going to have 4 main segments or 4 main sessions. So we have what we call the header. Now, the header is where your name, your contact, and maybe your email is going to be. So that is the header. You are good on Microsoft Word, so that's going to be the header. Number 2, we come to the opener. So after the header, you're going to come to the opener. This is where you will briefly introduce yourself, where you found the job, and why it interests you. Now, HR experts have recommended that you have to open strong. What does that mean? It means that let this opener be your punchline, because that is the first thing the HR consultant is going to read. And if the punchline there is weak, you have lost the job. So you have to open strong. For example, depending on the organization, I am an environmental fundraising professional with more than 15 years of experience looking for an opportunity to apply my skills in new ways, and I would love to bring my expertise and enthusiasm to your growing development team. Punchline. So that's your opener. So immediately the HR experts read something like that, it's going to be catching their attention. If you're an accountant applying for a job, the same thing. If you're an engineer applying for a job, bring out your best in that first sentence in that regard. So that is your opener. Then you go to the third one, which is the body. Now, this is the main part of your letter and will highlight your skills and show the employer why you are the right candidate for the job. So the body is where you show your skills. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be writing essay here. Usually that is going to be maybe 3 or 4 sentences in that case to be able to state why. Because remember, the overall cover letter must be a 1-page document. 1-page document, including the header, the opener, and everything. Just a 1-page document. Very sweet, simple, straight to the point. So a couple of examples here. Let's say you're a people person, and the job you're applying for has to do with customer relationship, has to do with working in a team. Then you can sound like this. At my previous company, I had a reputation for being able to work with everyone. I enjoy figuring out what motivates people, finding common grounds, and getting things done. I am also good at data analysis, budgeting, and compliance, which helps me to build productive relationship and achieve solid results. So let's say you are someone who is dependable and the job requires the qualities of someone who is dependable because the job is crucial to other aspects of the organization. Then we can sound something like this. I am an experienced, then you put your job title there, with demonstrated skills in data analysis, budgeting, and compliance. I am a dependable asset to the team, always punctual and determined to get the job done. I never waive my contribution to my team, as I am always ready to help out my co-workers to achieve the end result. So that is our body. And then the final part is the closer. So this is the final paragraph where you will sign off. That is the closer or the conclusion. So your closer or conclusion may look like this depending on whichever aspect you are in. If you want to sound professional, then you can say that I have attached my resume or CV with additional details of my work experience and qualifications. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. That's your closer. So that is how you prepare a cover letter. Take note of the 4 tips we spoke about. That you must ensure you do your research, convey enthusiasm, make sure that you watch your tone so you don't sound desperate, and be succinct. Meaning that be precise, go straight to the point, don't waste words. Let me know in the comment section any other topics about HR that you want me to talk about and some other things that you would want me to share my thoughts on in the comment section. I'll see you in the next video.